Il sistema pubblico secondo me è importante perché deve tutelare tutti i cittadini. Un sistema privato non garantisce il diritto a tutti di salute e quindi per questo motivo non raggiunge l'obiettivo. Cioè può funzionare su alcune persone, può essere efficiente ed efficace e curare quelle persone che possono permettersi il sistema privato, però se non garantiscono la salute a tutti, per questo motivo fallisce e quindi il sistema pubblico deve esserci, è un sistema che deve esserci.
My father was in the military, so I grew up some years in Japan when I was a child. So in 5th grade, we moved for the final time to the United States. And then, so I lived basically my whole adult life in the US until I was in 42. Then I moved to Italy, and I've been here for 14 years. Having said that, coming to Italy and being a part of the socialized medicine program that they have here, I feel that I've gotten just as good care without the costs that were involved in America.
I lived in Italy for most of my life, but I also lived in the US for 8 years, from 1995 to 2003. Of course, if you are born in that system, you don't think about other options. You think it's normal. You think that everywhere in the world is like that. You discover that later when you start traveling and realize that other people don't have the same kind of service. You cannot take it for granted. You think it's your right to have it, and you think that in every part of the world is like that. So you don't really make that thought until you go somewhere else. You realize that there are people who are struggling because they can't have that kind of service.
I think that to consider the human health a right is a great distinction, a great point of decision for a democracy.
The probably difference is that in the US, only a selection of people have this kind of service, while in Italy it's really 100%.
So let's consider that in Italy, the overall healthcare expenditure is 75% public, so paid by general taxation by the government, and 25% paid generally out of pocket or with private insurance.
You have to decide. I have to guarantee that poor people or medium income people have a right for their health or not, because otherwise only rich people will have a good health.
So all the elements of the American system are very costly, very expensive, and so the overall expenditure is so high.
In the private setting, and if they should pay for that, most of Italian people would not afford such kind of costs. It would be impossible for most people in Italy.
My son, who is now 12, is a type 1 diabetic. In America, I know the costs involved with being a type 1 diabetic could run up to $1,800 a month just for the insulin and the syringes. He uses a pump, and all of this is without any cost to us outside of the taxes that we pay. And now that I live here, I can't imagine moving back to the US just because of my son, because he's so dependent on the healthcare system here. Especially now with what's going on in America, he has a pre-existing condition, and I'm not even sure if I decided to return to America, if I got a job and that included healthcare, that he would be covered under it.
As a doctor, I hope that I will never be in the situation to offer my help only to people that can pay directly for them.
I think that when you are a citizen in a country, that you have some basic rights, and I think healthcare is one of those.